Armour Pants here, how's it going? Have another video for you, don't I? This is a review of the BTSV Russian Tier 3 Premium Tank, although after the last update it is now a collectible tank, whatever that difference is. But originally it was a premium tank, so it's a Russian Tier 3 light tank, premium tank, although as I said now it's collectible. It's not always available, but it's in crates and special events and that. Probably going to be available in crates at Christmas time, I'd imagine. Or if it is available for sale, it costs usually 1,000 gold, which is just approximately $5 or €4, 50 or £4. So that's excellent value for money for a premium or collectible tank, whatever the fuck they're calling them now. And it is a very decent credit earner too, as collectible or premium tanks are. If you do win in a crate and you don't want to be able to sell it for gold, but I'd actually suggest to you to keep it because as a light tank in Tier 3, it's great for practicing different techniques, tactics, and maybe also getting familiar with maps, etc. And it's a great way to practice light tanks, and those skills can then be applied later on as you move up into the higher tiers. Now, let's have a look at the tank itself. It is an odd looking fucking tank. It was a prototype developed in the 1930s by the Russians. Sort of looks like an amphibious tank, although it wasn't. It was actually a standard battle tank. And what can we say about this tank? Well, firstly, it is an odd looking little fucking thing. It's a weird looking fucker. As I said before, it looks like something you see crawling across the floor when you're having a crap in somewhere where it's really hot climate. You know, you see insects you don't normally see in Europe. That's something you want to hit with a newspaper. But leaving that aside, I would say the main characteristics of this tank and what's noteworthy about it, what's different to other tanks, is that it is fucking fast. It is shit off a shovel. It does 62 kilometers an hour. And because of its weird shape and its small turret, it actually bounces loads of shots. It's very difficult to actually hit because it has weird angles, as you can see here looking at it. And also, moving at over 60 kilometers an hour, actually trying to hit it and pen it is very difficult. So in that respect, it kind of has troll armor. Not because the armor itself is particularly thick, but just the speed and the awkwardness of those angles on this ugly, odd little fucker make it actually quite difficult to pen. I've fired shots at this in the 75mm on the Panzer IV or the DW, and they've bounced off it. And it's to do with the tank speed and its odd armor angles. So it will bounce shots. The gun itself is low caliber but fast firing, and you'll see in the game that the movement of the tank, its odd shaped armor and its relatively fast firing gun actually allow it to do and perform very well. And as I said, those sides there with our purple will bounce shots even from big guns like the 75mm gun on the Panzer IV-D or on the DW. So it says here it's tactics, peekaboo, long range sniping, etc. But it's also quite good in 1v1 brawl with its angles and its DPM. Can be quite good in circle death because it's so fast. Wouldn't go front line in it all the same. But it's open to a number of different tactics, and you'll see in the gameplay that we're going to look at now exactly how the tank is very also map friendly, gets around the map. You can move from one side to the map, you can change tactics throughout the game, and because you can get around the map quite quickly, the tank is versatile and is very effective during a battle. Luckily enough, here in this game, I'm actually able to use the tank's speed to get around and actually cause a lot of damage to the enemy without problems. Now, if you're new to the game, this is something that I often do on this map. Also, when you're new to the game, this is one of the maps that you play most. This, Fort Despair, are two of the most played maps at the lower tiers. So I go up to the middle here, and I use this bush just to pop my nose over and use the spotting mechanics to see if I can see anything, which not only helps me, but also helps my teammates. There's nothing doing here. So what I decided to do is, now we've spotted something. So now I'm going to go over and try to help my team, and I'm going to see if I can put some shots in. Now the gun, as I said, it has a decent rate of fire. It's 4-second reload. You drop your adrenaline, that's down to 3.5. So you can put in a lot of shots, and you can see here that by going into that middle part, we spotted up the enemy, but also I'm able to put shots onto them as they try to put shots into my teammates. So we have them sort of in a mini crossfire. and nobody ever likes that, right? When you're playing the game, facing up to danger on one side, most players are able to cope with that, but when it's coming at you from two sides, you're caught in a crossfire, it's very difficult. Also, unless you're a very experienced player, you kind of panic a bit, because and you don't actually adhere to your standard sort of tactics and gameplay that you would normally use. You kind of panic a bit and end up doing fucking nothing, you know? You get caught in between two mines and end up just fucking doing nothing, you know? You don't know where to shoot, whatever, you don't know what angle to take in your tank, and you end up just getting smashed. And by the way, don't feel bad about that or anything, that's just a natural part of the game, and it's only after maybe, you know, several thousands of games that you actually sort of just learn how to deal with that naturally, but at the start you do get panicked. Now you can see here, I said to you about the tank in Brawling and Circle of Death. Here's a kind of a semi-brawl, semi-circle of death type scenario. You can see that I am manoeuvring around using the angles of the tank, and I managed to take him out. You saw I also bounced a lot of shots there as well. That was for my second kill. I'm coming up now behind the enemy. Obviously, you know, if you can put Freddie Mercury rounds right up the arsehole into the enemy, it's far better than facing them front on, right? A bit cowardly and all that, but you know, it's about, the game's about winning. It's not, there's no medals in this for honour, you know. It's not a chivalrous game. Flanking, going around behind, getting a nice prison round up the arse of the enemy, or Freddie Mercury round, or a Japanese flag round, makes their arsehole look like the Japanese flag when they're finished. All of those things are tactics that tend to win you games. Going driving up straight, face on, is not something which may be very honourable, but it's not something which is generally successful in this game. Now we're 3v2. I've had 4 kills. Again, you see what I mean about the speed of the tank. Because I can do 62 kilometers an hour, I can actually go around here, stay in cover, and come up behind these guys, which is a lot safer than going straight onto them. If you're in a much slower tank, that's not an option, because by the time you get around, your teammates may be dead, or they may have moved. Now we drop straight into a rock there. That's fantastic gameplay. Now this guy, you see, he's looking around at the enemy here. They've drawn his attention. Now I know from my previous brawl that I can bounce shots with my armour from this Panzer 2G, and you can see here I do bounce them. And my shells are going through his armour, particularly on the side. I go around behind him here. You see what I mean about the manoeuvrability of the tank. And there you go, 5th kill. Now, this game, as I said, I've been all over the map, right? And that's something, and that actually shows you the fantastic speed of the tank. It allows you to get around the map and be in several different positions. And I went left, went centre, then left, then right. So we've actually been able to manipulate the whole map, and this is what we say, and how we describe a tank, which is terrain friendly or map friendly, and able to get around the map. Just there you saw me loading up APCR shells. You do need APCR because it's a low caliber gun. You need them to pen some heavily armoured tanks like that French tier 3 there. There you see, so mastery badge, 6 kills, over 1000 damage, which is quite respectable in tier 3 game. Gave a word the opponent there to the Panzer 3A, he was doing his best. And you can see there that I actually damaged, I think, nearly every tank on the enemy team. And of course, as we always say, mastery badges are not just about the damage you do or the number of kills, it's also about your activities in the game, spotting, etc. That all gets you XP, and it's the base XP which delivers mastery badges, not necessarily damage. So, I think that overall was a pretty good game, and I think I wanted to share with you because it illustrates the strengths of this tank, exactly what it's good at, what it can do, and how to utilise it. So let's say summary and the key points should you be lucky enough to get this tank in the next few weeks in the Christmas event. It has trowel armour, and the sides will bounce shots, and you saw there that I was bouncing lots of shots. It's lightning quick and therefore very difficult to hit when it's moving at full speed. It has a very good rate of fire, 4 seconds as we said, 3.5 when you drop the adrenaline. And that rate of fire allows you to do well in brawls. As a short barrel, so the gun handling is not that easy. It's better off when you're close to them with your targets. But the angles on that armour will bounce shots for you, especially when you're moving at high speeds. So as we say, you know, stopping is dropping, right? So don't stop in this tank, keep moving in it. And it's perfect for scouting, flanking and spotting, as you saw in that game there. And keep moving. And as I said, load APCR because you will need it on occasion. So there you go. It's a great little tank. It's fun to play because it moves so quickly. Great interactive gameplay. So if you do get it in a crate, keep it, watch this video again, and have some great fun in it. Alright, now cheers, Mush. See you now. Take it easy, boys.